This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today it's all about the dragons, because we're going to be building a castle for the dragons. We're going to try to have the most prestigious one at the end. Today we're going to be looking at Dragon Castle. This is from Horrible Games, coming out at the Eschenspiel in Germany at the end of October. I had a chance to play a prototype of this at Gen Con, and I liked it so much that I didn't have my camera equipment, but I did have my phone. So I took some video of this, and I'm going to try to talk through the overview of how this thing goes. So bear with me, this isn't my normal camera quality, but this is such a special game after I played it even just once that I wanted to show you how it's played, have you learn more about it, and give you my thoughts after just one play in sort of a mini review. So let's get started. Dragon Castle is a tile drafting and placement game for 2 to 4 players inspired by the classic game Mahjong. There'll be 3 levels of tiles that you'll be drafting from and placing on your board to try to get points. On your turn, you have 1 of 3 actions that you can take. One is to take any tile from the top and any identical tile from anywhere else as long as there's a free long edge, and take them and place them on your board. You can place them pretty much anywhere on your board. Or you can take 1 tile and in addition take a shrine, which you'll show later how you score with these and place them on top. Or you can take a tile and discard it from the game just to take a point. What you're trying to do is consolidate tiles on your board by having 4 or more of the same color adjacent to each other orthogonally. Here we have 5 of them. So you would flip them over, and then you'd get a certain amount of points depending on how many you just flipped over. In this case, there's 5, so we got 3 points. The more you flip over at once, the more points you get, and then you can place a shrine on top of it. Now, tiles don't have to be on the same level to consolidate. Here we have 5 orthogonally adjacent tiles of the same color, and they'll be consolidated even though they're on different levels. Now, on the bottom right, you'll see different tiles will allow you to place a different amount of shrines. The tiles that are more rare allow you to place more shrines. The dragons are the rarest. They give you an extra point and 2 shrines. And then here's what it would look like, and then the different level of your shrine will give you a certain amount of points at the end of the game. There's also these beautiful dragon cards, which will be shuffled up, and one will be dealt up next to the board, face up. It's a common objective that everyone can do during the game to get additional points. There's also these animal spirit cards, which, like the dragon cards, there'll just be 1 per game for everybody, face up, and essentially it allows you to usually discard a tile to do a special ability or break the rules in some sort of way when you discard that tile. Like this one on the right, you get to move a shrine from the bottom up to the top, and things like that. Now here's what our game looked like at the end. Now these are prototype components again, so there wouldn't be these red castles, they'd be those black shrines, but they only had 1 of those because this was not in production yet. And so this is a top-down look. Now at the end of the game, as soon as it's down to 1 level of tiles there, you can take some of those dragon tiles you see on the right there as your turn to speed up the end of the game, which brings a very interesting timing to the end of the game. And this was the other player's castle, the designer, who ended up beating me by I think 1 or 2 points. Alright, so again, this is just after 1 play at Gen Con. It was a 2-player game. So here we go. The modern game, I love that this thing uses, it's a modern game that uses 150-year-old roots. You know, it's got the old Mahjong game. I used to play it as a kid on the computer all the time, and I love it when games take these classic things and bring them back in, to the modern gaming world and put a lot of things around it and make them even better than they ever were before, and this does that. The drafting aspect of the tiles I absolutely loved. You're drafting tiles, you're looking ahead. It gave me the feeling that I got when you play Seven Wonders Duel, when you're trying to take, but you're also trying to see the patterns as to what the other player might be taking and how that will change the board, and can you manipulate to get them to take the last one on the top deck so that you can get to the lower deck and get a lot more choices. And so that push and pull really plays a lot in this game. I love that feeling. If you like that Seven Wonders Duel style of grabbing things at pyramids, trying to manipulate the turn order and such, this has that, and I love that about it. And to take that even further, You know, are you going to take 2 tiles, or do you want to take 1 in a shrine? Again, you might be getting the shrine for something else, but you also might be taking 1 tile so that they're forced to take, and again, allow you to have the most opportunities as soon as that top level is gone. So tons of decisions about where to place those shrines, and you're trying to decide whether to consolidate now or consolidate later. And that's huge because you're trying to figure out, if I place this here now, I'll consolidate now, I won't get as many points, but I'll be able to start building on top and things like that. Where am I going to put the shrine? Or do I want to build bigger because there's more tiles out there and go for the more points now, but it might take me a little bit longer. So a lot of interesting decisions as to when to consolidate, when to sort of push your luck a little bit. Will I get another tile to place here? So I like that. Adding the Spirit and Dragon cards as the advanced game definitely adds even more depth than I mean, the base game is thinky enough. And then you add that where you can, you know, discard one of those and use the ability or try to go for the points there. Really like the aspect of that advanced game there. The timing in the end of the game. Absolutely love this as well because, you know, you might not have a whole lot of good moves left. You might have to the point where you've built all the shrines that you're really going to be able to build. You're not going to build a whole lot higher. You might be able to get a few points here and there, but they have more upside. So instead of taking, you know, more turns, you're going to be taking those dragon tiles, trying to end the game faster. I like that. When a game gives you, you know, you can think back to like Lost Cities where you can manipulate how long the game lasts. I love that in games, and this does it well again at the end. They give tons of different setups, supply setups in the rules as to different ways, even for the same player count, to create the boards. You can have many different looking boards, which is going to make the game infinitely replayable. And again, just overall, this game blew my socks off after 1 play. So anything I don't like about it? Not yet. In my 1 play, no, but I might say that it is an abstract game. I mean, you're pulling tiles, you're placing tiles, it has some spatial things going on, not only on a XY radius, but also on the Z plane as well, because you're thinking about height and when you can place things. And I want to get the shrine on top with the dragon and, you know, things like that. So it might be a little too abstract for some. If you hated Mahjong just in general, you might still want to give this one a try just because of how many other things. I guess it would depend what you didn't like about Mahjong. If you don't like abstract things in general, then you're probably not going to like this. But if it was that it was just too simple or you just didn't like it for other reasons, then give this one a try because there's so many other things going on in this game. But again, I've only played it once, but oh my gosh, I got to say, I couldn't imagine this not being in my top 10 at the end of the year, just because knowing how much variability there is built into the game. And I know that once I start to discover that, I think I'm going to like it even more with each play. I still obviously need to play with the other player counts and such, but I am really looking forward to this game. I am super excited. I hadn't been this excited after a 1 play probably of anything this year. So I can't speak highly enough of this game. That's Dragon Castle. Look for it as coming out at the end of October at Essen Spiel. This has been the Game Boy Geek, helping you find and enjoy the next board game you'll love.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com.